Hello, good morning. I hope that everyone is quite okay. And before starting our classes, I want to tell you that very few students have submitted your notebooks, history and geography. Some of you submitted only history, and in geography outside covers on cover it is written geography, but inside it is written English notes. So you are the 8th standard students. Please keep in mind the order, the discipline of your life we can understand through your books. Your personality is also can understand from others from your way of presenting you, how you are. So, I am really asking you to be little more responsible of doing what you are doing and responsible of your studies also. And we have already finished the 9th chapter of history, and I have already sent the question answers on Friday. Even though I told you I will not send you the question answers, you have to find out by yourself, since in the next year you have to be prepared for board exam. So it will be easy for you for the next year if you will learn from this year itself how to find out the question answers and to write the answer to the questions. So you have to think reasonably when you are reading the text. You have to try to understand what is inside. If you are not understanding, I have told you many times, please come and ask. For every clarification, I am here. You can come, you can ask through phone, and nowadays there is a phone connection and the phone will be available to all, and I also will be available through phone service. So, we have finished our 9th chapter of history, and this week, I think for 2 days we will have the civics lesson. We have 2 more civics lessons we have to be completed. That is the first and second we have already taken. And I will show you a picture. From that you have to understand who is that person and what it says to you. I hope you understand who is this. In every court there will be this picture. That picture shows the goddess of justice. Is called goddess of Justitia. And from that word is coming the judiciary is coming from that word itself. So, coming to the word, we have today the third organs of the government of India, that is the judiciary system. Isn't it? There are some other photos that also you can understand from this. That means in judiciary system, when we go through a court, or it is in the film you can see, or in the newspaper, or through media you can watch, when we attend a case, there is these symbols are there. It is for the keeping the law and order, discipline in our country. So, the third organ of the government is the judiciary. The other two we have already studied. The first two organs which are, this is the third organ of the government that makes sure everything happens according to the law. That means if there is any disputes between people, between the people and the state, between two states and between the states and the nations, all these disputes are setting in order with the help of the law, on the basis of the law. So, there are mainly two categories of law. Which are they? There are mainly two categories of laws, that is criminal law and civil law. Which are the criminal laws? Criminal laws are, for example, theft. What is meant by theft? Theft is one person if dishonestly keeping to appropriate the property of somebody else. In some way, that is a stealing, isn't it? So, the criminal law is theft, then asking dowry, and on the basis of the dowry there are disputes, then murder, then horrors, murders, cheating, robberies, theft, all these are the offences according to, on the basis of the criminal law. And the other category is the civil law. Civil law, which is, for example, they will take the civil law in order to make the disputes, to settle the disputes on the basis of the land disputes, property deeds, divorce, rent agreements, all these are, they will settle on the basis of the civil law. So, we have two categories of law, that means criminal laws and civil laws. And now coming to the structure of the judiciary system of India, we have a pyramidal system. It is in your book, textbook, on page number 21, you can see that a pyramidal system here, isn't it? This is the judiciary system of India. In this, at the bottom we have the district court, in the center we have the high court, and the top we have the Supreme Court. And for what these courts are existing in our country? The people, when they have disputes among them, they can approach the court in order to settle the disputes. And normally the people will go where they have the first hand court, that is the district court. And this district court, they will go, and if their disputes are not settled, or the people are not satisfied with that, they can appeal to or appellate to the High Court on the state level. And even their disputes are not settled or they were not satisfied with the judgment of the High Court, they can appellate to the Supreme Court on the national level. So, at the top of the judiciary system, there is a Chief Justice in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, it is came into being only in 1950, January 26th. That day is important in our history. What is the importance of that date? It is a Republic Day. On that date, the Supreme Court came into being. Then the State Court. State Court are, these three courts are connected each other. They were each other connected. District Court to High Court to Supreme Court. And the High Court came into being in 1862. At that time onwards, there were High Courts as a head of the state. And it was at that time in 1862, these High Courts were in Madras, Mumbai and Kolkata. These were the main cities of India. In these three cities, there were the High Courts. And later only came into being that a Supreme Court. That means in 1950, January 26th. And these people can already go to have their rights to live better without any disputes in harmony and peace in our country. If there is any disputes, they can go to settle these disputes through these courts. District courts, High Courts and finally to the Supreme Court. Why this judiciary system for our nation? It is for protecting the fundamental rights of every citizen of India. Fundamental rights, the right to speak, right to express their ideas, right to express, right to live, right to have property and everything, right to also follow their own religion. So, these fundamental rights have to be protected for each citizen of India, of our nation. Every citizen has the right to be protected in their nation. So also we, our people, have the right also to be protected from our nation. Because of that, these three-tier courts are there. That is the District Court, High Court and Supreme Court. And they can appellate when they are not satisfied with the lowest court, that is the District Court. They can appellate to the High Court. Then even though they may not be satisfied, they can go to the Supreme Court. They can appellate to the Supreme Court. And clear the structure of the judiciary system? It is a pyramidal structure, and the lower part, it is the subordinate courts. That means can be District Court, then there is the High Court, then Supreme Court. And this Supreme Court and High Court, how it is composed, we can learn in the next class. We can study in the next class. So all of you please read the first page of the Indian judiciary system, and also read the next page, the composition of the High Court and the Supreme Court. We will explain in the next class. And I hope that all of you understood at least the structure of the judiciary system of India. Clear? Thank you everybody for attending the class, and we will see in the next class with the next explanation of this lesson itself. Okay? Thank you.